Hello, and welcome to the Lab app. It's an application that I built for project management of in the laboratory setting. So, in the laboratory setting, there's a lot of scientists, and those scientists work on multiple projects at a time. And as you can see, it makes reporting and doing all the managing of all these projects in one place very difficult. So I created this project in hopes that, you know, it could be useful, not only for me, but for my peers too. So let's get started. One of the things that I'm going to show first is the register section. So I'm going to go ahead and try to register a new account here. So we're going to do mark D and markd@gmail.co. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to intentionally have the passwords not match so you could see the error that it gives. So I put a lot of these flash errors all over the application with the sign in and the register and all these things to make sure that the flow from a user perspective is actually pretty nice. So another one that I did was make sure that the username is not already taken. So I don't create multiple usernames with different accounts and same passwords and all this stuff. So this keeps it from breaking the models from that perspective. And so I'm going to demonstrate like a successful account creation. Let's see. And so when I take a look at it, boom, it puts us in the lab menu. And as you can see, this also changed the sidebar here. Now I have access to all of the projects our lab's currently working on. See? Um, so what's going to happen if I wanted to edit one of these labs? So let's go take, or one of these projects. So let's take a look. It says, oh no, I must be the starter of this project to edit or delete it. So I did not create this. I don't have any projects currently ongoing. Um, so I can't really do anything with any of this. I could only view them from a new user perspective. So what I'm gonna have to do is create a new project, and the home page shows the convention on how we write these these titles and all these things. So new project by new user, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put that there, and we're gonna set today's date, and we're gonna create a new project. Now you're gonna see that the new project by new user is now here, and when I click on it, see, now we have all these options. Now we could edit this project or delete this project. So what's gonna happen when I edit this project? Let's go over there. It shows, oh, very cool. So when we do an edit the project, we could edit the title, edit the project contents, and edit the start date. And one of the things I wanted to do was have the ability to reassign projects to a different scientist if I really wanted to. So let's say I got an email from Liz saying, hey, I need to work on this project. Can you give me this project? Because it's highly dependent on another project I'm working on. So one of the things that I could just do is click her name and click edit project. The one thing that I added on here is it makes sure that all these fields are filled up. So there's no project that doesn't have a title or that doesn't have anything. It prevents it from basically breaking the models because the models are highly dependent on the titles, the way I wrote it, finding by title and finding by ID and all this stuff. So now I'm gonna reassign this to list and we edit the project. And now when we go here, now it redirects us to that project, but we can't edit it anymore because it doesn't belong to us anymore. So that's one of the safeguards that I wanted to put in, to make sure that nobody could just come in and just edit and delete other people's projects and stuff like that. Obviously, the master user could do that, but I haven't set that up yet. Um, let's see what else. Oh yeah, so in this case, I can't also like do something like edit something like this to go to that. It just forces me back to the directory, right? So that's another thing that I wanted to implement, is so nobody could just type it in the URL and edit any project that they want to edit. They actually have to be the user. They have to have that same session before they can edit any of the stuff. Um, let's see. So the other thing is I have implemented is the list of all the scientists currently in the lab, and I can view. So this view right here shows all the projects by all the different scientists, right? And it can get kind of crowded. But if I wanted to just do a project from a particular scientist, all I have to do is click on their name, and now I have access to all their projects, and I could take a look at what they're working on, and I can't edit it because I'm not the owner of this project. So let's go ahead and create a new project. Uh, New title for a new project, and we're gonna add this in. We're gonna set today's date and create a project. So now I can actually edit this project. So there's two things that I could do, right? I already showed that we can edit and change the user, change the date, and change the title, all this stuff. So let's go back and do that. And now let's go and delete this project. So here you can see that the project is now gone. And when we view my projects, we have no more projects here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to sign out from this user and see what it looks like from a different perspective when we have other projects that were assigned to us. So as you remember, we reassigned a project to this user, and now I get to access this, and I actually get to edit it because it was assigned to me now. Okay, and when I view my projects, you can see all the different projects that I have. And one of the things that I actually wanted to do here is to have it make something very subtle. But if you're the current user and you view your projects, this thing actually says here is a list of all the projects by you. But if you go to a different scientist, right, it'll say here are the list of all the projects by that scientist. It still greets you, but it shows a different scientist name. And I think this is a pretty comprehensive list of what this app can do. I mean, I could add more features on it, but I think for now it's pretty good. So I sign out. I can't just access any of the fields, right? So let's say I want to try to access that, and it says you must be signed in to access this information. So let's see. I think if we do the same thing with the projects, it does the same thing. You must be signed in to edit this information. Or let's see if we wanted to edit uh, project 12, edit. And it tells us you must be signed in to edit this information. So all that stuff I built in the safeguard to make sure the information's taken care of and the everything around it is functioning normally and the flow is good. So that's pretty much it.